The one mistake that we make as people is we live our lives for other people. We live our lives because our parents told us, you must go to school. You need to do this. This is the best career choice. But who says that's what you really want to do? Keep in mind that $1 can always be 10, and 10 can always be 1,000,000, and 1,000,000 can always be 100. There's no cap on success. I've always understood that everything is not going to have a benefit initially. Meaning up front, you might not get a benefit. You might not get a benefit into the end. You might not get a benefit into the middle. But there is a benefit in something. Either you're learning, you're gaining a relationship, a friendship, you're getting paid. It's up to you to realize what that benefit is and put it into action. Hard work don't equate success. My grandfather worked hard every single day, but he died poor. And that's not a axe against his name, because he is one of the greatest people that I know. However, I wanted my legacy to be wealth building and leaving something behind for the people that came after me. And you cannot do that just by hard work and going to a 9-to-5 and going to college and finishing college. You have to put a little bit more intuitism in what you do and a little bit more effort in what you do. Not everybody wants to be successful. I get that. I hear from people all the time, Banks, I just want to get married. Banks, I just want to settle down. Banks, I just want to get enough money to buy me some J's. Cool, if that's what you want. That's not what I want. I don't feel like there's a such thing as being in love when you broke. How can you be in love when you can't feed each other? I like to eat. That's a part of my love language. So I want someone to be able to be there for me financially as well, and I'm sure you do as well. I also like to gift people. So guess what? In a relationship, I want to gift you. I want to be able to show you what my style of living is. I want to be able to go to the mall and have 2 bags and not just one. Those are part of my love language. That may not be a part of yours. I have a cousin and we always talk, and one of the things he'd always say to me is, I admire the way you persevere. I admire the way you keep pushing no matter what. Well, the way that I look at it is, it could always be worse. It could always be worse. So if it could always be worse, that means it could also always be better. So if I always think about what could be in the worst way, it's gonna bring me down. But if I'm thinking about what could be in a positive way, then it keeps me pushing. To give you an example, you get fired from your job. You're upset about it. You actually go into a depression. That's your characteristic trait. My characteristic trait says, well, thank you, because obviously that means something better is for me. You wreck your car. Beautiful car, your favorite car, you just got it, you're upset. I think about it, I'm not upset. Maybe I needed a new car. I remember when I first moved to Atlanta, I was 19 years old. I remember I had a Lexus GS300, my favorite car. And I drove to Atlanta with not much money, but a hope and a dream. And I was already a business owner at this time, but a lot of my money was going back into my business. The first day I was there, my car broke down on I-285, and I came back to my car and all of my clothes were out of my trunk and my trunk was taken off my car. And I called back home and my mom said to me, see, I told you you shouldn't have went, you should have stayed home. But to me, I was excited because I felt like, you know what? If the only thing that they can do is steal my clothes, that's not a bad thing. Because number one, I needed some new clothes anyway. And number two, where I'm from, my only 2 options was jail or death. And I much prefer getting new clothes than choosing jail or death. So I looked at the obstacle that was before me and I didn't choose it to be an obstacle. I chose it to be a stepping stone onto where I wanted to go next. That, my friends, was the best decision that I've ever made in my life. So that started the why not me movement. That started me thinking to myself, why not me? All of these things, of course, the course of my journey have happened to me. But why have they happened to me? Why me? Why me? Why me? Those questions never got answered. I had to literally step to myself and check myself and say, you're complaining and someone has it worse. Your complaints are actually rich people's problems. You're complaining because you can't get the new Benz. You're complaining because you can't get the new condo. You're complaining because you can't pay your mortgage on a $6,000 house. Those were my complaints. When there were people that were hungry, I wasn't. There were people that were homeless. I wasn't. There were people that were in abusive relationships. I wasn't. There were people that were fatherless and motherless. I wasn't. And so I had all of these great things going for myself, and I stopped saying why me and started saying why not me. I'm trying to give you my soul, my love, my knowledge, my power, my confidence. By the way, which wasn't born overnight. This shit came because I was in a situation where I saw everybody around me and they were not where I thought I wanted to be. So I had to look beyond the hills and beyond the mountain and beyond the sea, and understood that what was meant for me could not be stopped by a friend or an enemy. It had to be in a situation where I put myself at the bottom and said, I'm going to do the work to climb back up the top, because that's what I deserve. Not what my mom wants for me, not what my brother and sister want for me, not what the people in the world say for me, but what I wanted for myself. And that is power. That is why not me. I wanted to come with you with a system that you could utilize, that could help you with your finances, that could teach you about the stock market, that could also help you with the matters of the heart. People always need someone to talk to. I myself find it very hard to talk to people, because every time I go to them to need some advice, they always have a question for me and need advice from me. So it's a very daunting feeling to know that everyone needs you and you can depend on nobody. You can finally find somebody you can depend on. Why not me? Masterclasses. Sign up.